Hi guys, welcome back to my channel and welcome if you are new. Without further ado, let's go ahead and get straight into today's video. So for today, we are going to be doing some simple yet really colorful nails, and I'm super excited to do these. It's literally summertime and I'm just feeling like doing lots of colors and flowers and just something super cute. But this nail design is also really simple, not necessarily beginner friendly, but I do think that it's more on the easy side. So yeah, without further ado, let's go ahead and get straight into it. So here's what my nails are looking like today. As you can see, they aren't too bad because I just did my nails 2 days ago, so I don't really have any prep work to do. The only thing I'm going to do is just scrape up any excess product using the scraper tool. Okay, and that's literally all of the prep work that I'm gonna do for today. Now I'm gonna go ahead and put on my peel off base coat. And for that, I just like to use my Macart peel off base coat and a little bit of cuticle oil. So the first thing I'm gonna do is just put a little bit of cuticle oil onto all of my nails. And I'm gonna make sure to rub this in as best as I can. And now I'm gonna go in with 2 layers of my Macart peel off base coat. And I'm curing each layer for a full 60 seconds. Okay, so my peel off base coat is nice and applied, and I already went ahead and sized out all of my nail tips for today. And to cure these on, I'm going to be using a little bit of base coat. Oh, and also a couple uploads ago, I did mention that my old lamp, my flashlight UV lamp, died. So for today, I'm going to be using one of these like lamps that you attach to your table. And I feel like this is so much more convenient than the lamp I had last time. And honestly, if you are using one of those little like cheap flashlights, I definitely recommend switching over to something like this, or even switching over to something with a cord in general, because the ones that you have to put batteries in are just not worth it. They die so fast, and these are a lot more powerful. So if you are doing this like curing on tips, or even if you're doing like gel X or something, I definitely recommend one of these flashlights. But yeah, anyway, I'm gonna be using this today. Okay, next I'm gonna take some tip cutters and just start cutting down these nails. And these nails aren't gonna be super long today, so I think I'm gonna go to, I think maybe about here is okay. And now I'm gonna take my 80 grit nail file just to go ahead and shape up the free edge. And I'm also going to get rid of the ledge that's like created by the nail tip on this nail. And while I'm filing over this little ledge area, I'm making sure that I'm only focusing on top of the nail tip. I don't want to accidentally file away the peel off base coat, so I'm making sure to be very, very careful. All right, and today we're going to be doing some polygel nails, so I'm going to go over the entire surface with a little bit of base coat. Okay, so now we're on to the Polygel application, and I just have my dapping dish ready. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. For today, I'm gonna be using this little brush here, and I feel like eventually I should just invest in a polygel brush, but I don't know, like I just don't really use polygel that often, so I'm like, is it really necessary? I don't know. This honestly works just fine. It is a cleanup brush, and if I can find it, I will link it in my description. However, it probably is on the small side, maybe. I'm not really sure what size is really necessary for polygel nails because again, I don't do them that often. But anyway, yeah, I'm using this today. So for today's application, it's really just going to be a fully clear nail set. So I'm going to be using some Macart clear polygel, and I'm going to try my best to see if I can do this in one bead. Okay, so the first thing I'm gonna do is just try and spread this out onto my entire nail and just make sure that there's enough product for the entire nail surface. Okay, and now I'm gonna start working at my cuticle area. Just kind of make sure that like everything is nice and smooth and that there's a nice apex. Kind of just like pushing some up towards the apex area because I don't want it to be super flat and you know, it doesn't have any structure. Now, one thing I am working on when it comes to polygel is like actually getting it kind of close to my cuticle area. Now, typically when it comes to extension products, I like to leave a little bit of a gap, mainly because one, I do peel off nail sets, so I don't really feel the need to get it super close because I'm gonna end up popping it off anyways. And two, I just don't really like that look where it's super bulky towards the cuticle area. And I feel like once I start to shape my nails, it kind of gives it a nice and like natural appearance. But with polygel in specific, I just have a hard time getting it kind of close to my cuticle area because it just floods a lot and I don't want to have to deal with too much flooding. Okay, so I think I have my apex area pretty much sorted out. So now I'm going to go ahead and start smoothing out the surface of the nail. So I'm first just smoothing out the sides, making sure that there's enough product on each side wall. And now I'm gonna drag it down in the center. I don't wanna drag off too much because you wanna make sure that it's nice and round because this is how you get your structure and your strength. So when you look down the middle, it should be nice and curved like this. Okay, so I definitely put a good bit of product on this nail, so a lot of this is probably gonna get taken off because I don't want these nails to be super thick today. Okay, so once I have a good bit of product kind of dragged down, I'm gonna go ahead and just take my brush and kind of remove any product that I can get off with this brush. So as you can see, that's a good bit of product. And now I'm gonna go back in and try and smooth everything out nice and neat. Now I do see a lot of nail techs who focus with polygel use the chopping end to kind of get rid of the excess, but I don't know, I don't really find it to be like super necessary because I can pretty much get a decently clean shape with the brush. And also I'm gonna end up filing it anyways, so I don't really find it to be like that important. Okay, so this nail is done and I'm gonna go ahead and cure this for a full 60 seconds. So this nail is done and this is what it's looking like. As you can see, the sidewalls are nice and clean and the tip is clean enough. And this is what it looks like from the side. As you can see, we have a nice apex area. So yeah, this nail is done. I'm gonna continue to do the same thing for the rest of my nails and I will come back. So the Polygel application is nice and complete, and this is what it is looking like. Now, before we start shaping up these nails, I'm gonna go ahead and get rid of the sticky layer first. This is just gonna make sure that you're not getting a whole bunch of sticky polygel into your nail files and nail drills. Okay, so now we're ready to go ahead and start shaping up these nails. And as you can see, I have my dust collector ready to go. So the first thing I'm gonna do is take my nail file and file these sidewalls and undersides of my nails. Okay, and next I'm going to be taking this ceramic bit here to go ahead and seal my cuticles and correct my apex. Typically when I am using polygel, I do like to stick with a ceramic bit because I feel like it works better for gel products, and also polygel is pretty soft, so I don't need anything that's super coarse like carbide, but you can always use a sanding band or even a cuticle bit for this step, so feel free to use whatever works best for you. And for reference, I am using this on about 8 to 10,000 RPMs. Okay, and now I'm going back to my nail file to completely smooth over the surface of the nails. And now I'm going back to my ceramic bit just to help thin out the undersides, and I'm also going to be scratching this over the surface. The reason I do this is because I don't really feel like buffing the nails, so using this to just go over it kind of helps to get rid of some of the scratches. Okay, so the shaping and filing is all done, and this is what they're looking like so far. Now we're gonna go ahead and move on to today's nail art. So this is the nail set that we're gonna be doing today, and literally I saw this probably like 2 hours ago. And I thought that it was super cute and fun, but also really simple. So I'm like, yeah, let's go ahead and do it today. I haven't done something super simple in a very long time, so I thought that this would be a really good nail set to kind of reset. But before we do anything, let me show you everything that we're gonna need for this nail set. Okay, so this is literally everything that we're gonna need for this nail set. Just some gel polish colors. Now, there are a lot of colors here on my table, but for the most part, a lot of these are just gonna be mixed in with each other to create the perfect color. For the most part, you're just gonna need the colors of the rainbow and some white gel polish and maybe some black if you need to make something darker. And I'm also going to be using some iridescent glitter. Now, for people who've been around for a very long time, you guys know that I used to use this glitter so much. I have not used this glitter in so long, and I used to use this glitter so much, like it was not even funny. And this is the same jar that I've been using since I started my YouTube channel like a year and a half ago. So yeah, we're going to be pulling her out and using her today. All right, so that is everything. Let's get into it. So the first thing that we're going to do is, of course, mix these colors. Now, in my last two videos, I have been like keeping this portion in because I've been doing a lot of color mixing these past few days. So I'm going to do the same thing just because I want you to be able to see what colors I'm mixing, so that way you can get the same results for the most part. And as I mentioned in my last video, I try to keep some of the colors that I use to a minimum because I don't like advertising too many colors at one time, because I use Nail Reserve and Nail Reserve is kind of expensive. So, but similarly to what I said in my last video, you can always use whatever brands you have and just mix whatever colors you need. I really do not think that it's necessary to go out and like buy every single color that you need, because for the most part, any color can just be mixed together. So yeah, it's definitely just gonna end up saving you a ton of money in the end. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and start mixing these colors, and let's speed through this. Okay, so this is our color palette. These are the colors that we are working with today. But before we get into this nail set, I'm just gonna go ahead and clean off my nails with a little bit of alcohol. Okay, so now let's go ahead and get into it. So the first thing to do is to pretty much just paint the entire surface of all of these nails in one singular color. So for this nail, it's going to be this peachy color here. For my middle finger, it's going to be green. For my ring finger, it's going to be this magenta color. For my pinky, it's going to be this blue here. And for my thumb, it's going to be this purple. So yeah, let's go ahead and do that. Now, because we're going to be outlining these nails in a different color, I'm not going to go all the way to the edges of this nail because one, it's not necessary and it kind of just takes up time. And two, it's going to be kind of difficult to cover up the base layer with a different color on top. When you go all the way towards the cuticle area, if you have to put more and more color on top of it, it's going to start to get thick. And we want these nails to maintain their shape as much as we can because there's a lot of layers in this nail set. Now, before I cure this, I'm just going to wipe off the ends a little bit just to make sure everything stays nice and crisp. Okay, and I'm gonna go ahead and cure these for about 30 seconds. Okay, so all of the base colors are done, and as you can see, this one is definitely a lot darker than what I showed. So I actually ended up mixing a new version of it, except I didn't put as much white because I think I put a little bit too much. So this is what they are looking like so far. Now the next thing to do is to create the airbrush effect in the center. So for that, as always, I'm gonna be using my good and trusted fan brush. Now what I'm gonna be doing is creating a simple airbrush in the center of all of these nails using this assortment of colors. So for my pointer finger, it's going to be the magenta color. For my middle finger, it's going to be yellow. For my ring finger, it's going to be a light purple. For my pinky nail, it's going to be green. And for my thumbnail, it's going to be yellow again. So let's go ahead and do all of that. Oh, actually, correction. I think for my pointer finger, it's actually going to be this pink color. So yeah, I'm going to use this one instead. So this is the first layer, and as you can see, it's pretty sheer. So we are going to do this in multiple layers, but for now, I'm gonna go ahead and flash cure this for about 10 to 15 seconds. Okay, so all of the airbrush is done, and I'm not gonna lie, this was really annoying because there was so much lint in my brush. But she's done and it looks really good. I love this. Now the next thing we're gonna have to do is outline these nails in the next color. But before we do that, I'm gonna go over the airbrush section with a little bit of base coat. And the reason I'm doing this is because the method I use to create this airbrush effect creates a ton of texture in these nails. And if I don't go over this with a layer of base coat, then the line art for the next step is going to be like ugly. So I want to make sure that everything is nice and smooth and that I don't have any issues with it being like kind of lumpy or anything like that. So I'm just going over these with a very thin layer of base coat. And I'm going to go ahead and cure this for about 30 seconds. Okay, and now I'm gonna take this medium liner brush and I'm just gonna be outlining these nails in a different color. So my pointer finger and my middle finger are both gonna be outlined using this purple. My ring finger is gonna be outlined using yellow. My pinky nail is gonna be outlined using this brown. Finally, we're using this brown. And my thumbnail is gonna be outlined using magenta. So this part is pretty straightforward. We're just gonna be outlining the entire nail with this liner brush, and I'm making sure that this part is not too thin because you want to be able to see the outline from the front angle. And also this is the moment where you want to go ahead and really get on the sides and corners of these nails. Now, once I have the nail fully outlined, I'm gonna go ahead and round out the corners at the bottom here. Okay, I think that looks really cute. So I'm just gonna wipe down the sides very slightly because I don't wanna take off too much of the color. And I'm gonna go ahead and cure this for about 30 seconds. Okay, so this nail is done and this is what it is looking like. For whatever reason on camera, it looks like red and orange, but it is peach and pink. So yeah, so I'm gonna go ahead and repeat the same exact process to the rest of my nails and we will come back. Probably a little bit difficult. So we're gonna see how this works. So now we're gonna get into these flowers, and these flowers are very interesting because they are made out of gel polish entirely. So the nail tech who made this nail set, she actually created like gel polish flowers on top of a little plastic square. However, I don't have that. So I thought maybe I could use this. This is just a silicone base. And if you're wondering what this is actually the silicone base for my retainer, but I don't actually use this. I promise I don't use this. That's the reason I'm using it today, because I'm like, well, I'm not using it for anything. By retainers, I mean like my retainers for my like teeth, because once upon a time ago I had braces, but I don't anymore. So yeah, the case that I bought came with 2 of these, so I just never ended up using this one, and this is what it looks like on the inside. But I'm gonna use this and hopefully that works. Now what we're gonna do is we are gonna paint some petals onto this thing. So I think I'm gonna start out by doing the flower on my thumbnail. So I'm gonna take this pink, and I'm only gonna do 1 tester petal for now, and if this doesn't work, I don't know. I'm going to paint a petal onto this little thing, and I guess I kind of want this gel polish to be a little bit thick, but not super thick because I do have to move it. I'm kind of sizing it to make sure it's the right size. Now I'm going to use this orange, and I'm essentially going to create a gradient from this pink all the way to yellow, or actually I think it goes to like 3 different colors. Like some of the petals, it goes from pink to blue, then like pink to yellow, and then pink to brown. So I guess we're just going to play around and see what we can come up with. So with my brush, I'm kind of just blending the colors together. Now for this one, I'm going to go from this pink to the blue, and this will be the last color. And towards the inner part of the petal, I'm making sure it's nice and like triangular. Okay, I think this looks pretty good, and I'm assuming that she did this in multiple layers, so I'm not going to stress too much about how it looks now. I'm going to go ahead and throw this in, and we'll come back. Okay, now I'm going to start kind of blending these together a little bit on the second layer. So I'm only using a tiny bit of gel polish, and I'm just going to go over these with some more color. Okay, I hope that's good enough. I'm going to put this under. Okay, so now I'm going to kind of peel this off. Okay, so now I'm gonna try and peel this off using some tweezers. Okay, I definitely didn't cure it all the way because it's like still some on there, but I'm not gonna lie, it kind of works. Like it kind of works pretty well, and you can bend these. Now, I don't really know where to go from here. So I'm actually gonna toss this because I feel like I can do it a little bit better, and also because I don't really know what to do with just 1 petal right now. All right, so let's go ahead and actually do these petals now that I kind of know what I'm doing. Okay, so far I think this looks pretty good. Now what I think I want to do is do the top coat on these now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a little bit of top coat, and I'm going to put this onto my mixing plate, and I'm going to mix this top coat with the tiniest bit of some glitter. I'm just going to take out a little tiny bit of glitter with my brush. And now I'm going to top coat the flowers using this glitter top coat, and this will also help to build just a little bit of structure so that these aren't super thin, you know? And I'm gonna go ahead and cure this. Now to attach the flower, I'm actually going to be using a little bit of rhinestone glue, and I'm just going to put a blob of rhinestone glue in, I guess, the middle of the nail. In the reference photo, it's on the side, but I think I want mine to be in the middle. Oh yes. Okay, so these ones are a lot thicker. Okay, these are like really difficult to pick up for whatever reason. Okay, good. So now I'm going to place them on petal by petal. Okay, so before I cure this, I have to somehow find a way to make these petals stick upwards. Somehow, I don't know how she did it, but we're gonna figure this out. It's a little difficult to kind of place these because they're so thin and they just wanna fall. So what I'm gonna do is maybe try and tip my finger over. And you can't see me because I'm like literally above my camera trying to do this because I can't see. I'm like blind. Okay, so on second thought, I don't think that rhinestone glue is the answer because they're just falling really flat really quickly and it's not really working. So we are going to try some solid nail glue. So yeah, I'm just gonna wipe this off. It's a good thing I used base coat because I can wipe this off and the airbrush won't come off. All right, so I am going to just take a glob of this, and I don't want it to be super big. I only need a little bit. I'm gonna roll it and place it onto the middle of my nail. Oh, this is gonna be good. Yeah, yeah, I should have did this first. Yeah, I should have did this first. Like, I already can tell that this is gonna be so much better. I'm just gonna place it, like stick it like into the thing, like kind of like a chip and like some dip or something. Y'all, I'm hungry, I'm sorry. Yeah, this is definitely the way to go. I would definitely recommend using some putty if you have some, and it gives you enough time to kind of move them around and get them nice and situated. Yeah, the rhinestone glue was just not having it, and you know what, it's not her fault because I wasn't supposed to use that anyway. I'm just being lazy. Now what I think I want to do is put a pearl in the middle because I don't like how it's just like a big old piece of gel in the middle. I'm going to take one of these pearls, I'm going to take one of the pearls and just place it right in the center, and I'm going to reposition these little flower petals, make sure that they're sticking up nice, and I'm going to go ahead and cure this. Okay, so this is the first flower and I love this. Like, this is so cool, but this is so pretty. Like, oh my gosh, this, I feel like a proper like artiste. Like, I feel just, I don't know, like this is just so cool. Yeah, so I'm gonna do the same thing for these two fingers and I will come back. Okay, so let me clean this off. And you know what? I think it was a really good idea to use this because it was super easy to take these petals off. Okay, and this is what the flowers are looking like. They are so cute. And honestly, I think they have a very different effect than creating flowers with the solid nail glue gel. So I would definitely give this a go, especially if you don't have the solid nail glue gel. Well, I mean, you probably would need it if you want the flowers to like actually stick up. Otherwise, they're going to be flat because rhinestone glue does not work for this. So I think all of the nail art is done for the most part. However, I have a feeling that I should add something else. I don't know what, but I feel like it's missing something. I think maybe I can do like some droplets on some of these nails. Maybe like my pointer finger and my pinky, I could do some rhinestone droplets. We'll see. Okay, let's try it. So because I'm lazy, I'm gonna go straight from the tube and just put some droplets on certain parts of this nail. Yeah, I feel like this definitely adds just a little bit of like something different. So I'm gonna go ahead and flash cure this. Okay, and I'm doing the same thing to my pointer finger. And what if on the flower nails, I did like some rhinestone swirls? I think that could be really cute. So I'm just gonna put some of this rhinestone glue onto this top because I don't have any space on my palette. Okay, and let's do some of these swirls and see if I like it or not. Okay, that's kind of cool. I really like that. I'm gonna go ahead and cure this. Okay, so all of the nail art is done. I think the last thing I'm gonna do is put on a layer of top coat. Okay, so all of the nail art is done and this is what it is looking like so far. I just went ahead and put a singular ring on. I know, rare. I normally have like 15 on, but I think one ring is honestly good enough for today. So I'm just gonna go ahead and finish this off with a little bit of cuticle oil. And that completes today's set. I really do hope you guys enjoyed this one. This nail set was honestly so fun and it honestly took me a lot longer than I thought it would. I started this nail set at probably around 11:40 a.m. and I didn't finish until like 5:30. But honestly, it was so worth it and I really think the flowers really make this pop. I've never done flowers like this before, so it was really fun to give this a go. Honestly, I think this nail set is so perfect for summer and vacations and like it just gives such tropical and like warm vibes, which is definitely appropriate for the beginnings of summer. So hopefully I can do more summer nail sets in the future. If I were to rate this nail set from 1 to 10, I would definitely give it a 10 out of 10. Like this nail set eats down. This nail set really gives, like it's giving what it's supposed to give. Now here's the thing, this nail set's really pretty, but I do feel like the flowers are probably gonna get snagged on like literally everything. And because they're so thin, it's probably not super practical, but for looks, this nail set is so cute. But of course, definitely let me know what you guys think of this nail set in the comments. And of course, give me your ratings as well. I would love to hear what you guys think of this nail set. But as always, I want to say thank you guys so much for tuning in today, and I will see you guys in the next one.